Mr Deputy Speaker, I rise to celebrate the wonderful commitment that we have made as a government to connecting Australians living in regional Australia through our $220 million mobile phone blackspots program. And I say to the member for Whitlam, shame on Labor. Shame on Labor, a party that says it supports our program. And, Mr Deputy Speaker, the Labor Party, prior to the election, managed to commit a total of 9 base stations around the country. 9 base stations, which shows, Mr Deputy Speaker, that those members opposite have no commitment whatsoever to connecting regional communities, to keeping us safe, to ensuring that whether you're a farmer, whether you're a firefighter, whether you're a tourist or whether you're a student living in a regional community, you have every right to use your mobile phone to get the connection and the communication that you deserve. So what hypocrisy we are seeing from members opposite. The fact of the matter is that Telstra, unlike Vodafone and Optus, is the predominant carrier because it has chosen to invest predominantly in regional Australia. And I say it's a pity that Vodafone and Optus have not taken on board the needs of regional Australia as much as Telstra. So I think that the member for Whitlam needs to take this on board. In my electorate of Corangamite, last year we announced 10 mobile base stations. Before the election, we announced another 4 mobile base stations. And I can tell the member for Whitlam and members opposite that every one of those base stations is providing critical communications to those communities. And let's not forget, last year we funded 10 Telstra base stations in Barongarook, Apollo Bay, Barwon Downs, Carlisle River, Cape Otway, Dareal, Carwarren, Gellibrand, Stiglitz near Meredith and Yodine, which also services Birregurra, and Carlisle River was switched on in May 2016, and what pride that was. This is a community that had been ignored by Labor, been absolutely ignored. It's now got communications that it never received before, and Labor, over 6 long years, Mr Deputy Speaker, provided zero to mobile blackspots. And now we see this great commitment and absolutely shameful what they have done. On the 24th of May, Mr Deputy Speaker, the Prime Minister and the Minister for Regional Communications, Senator Nash, visited Anglesey, and with great pride, after much advocacy, we committed mobile base stations to Anglesey, Aireys Inlet, Belbrae and Birregurra. Now, as we all know, the Surf Coast is an incredibly vulnerable part of my electorate, and yet it had been ignored by the previous government. So I'm very, very proud that apart from the 8 mobile base stations that we have funded in the Colac-Otway region, we now have another one in Birregurra, an incredibly important town for farming and for tourism, as well as along the Surf Coast. And, Mr Deputy Speaker, let me say I do want to raise one concern. One of the mobile base stations funded is in Dareal, a community that has been hit twice by bushfire. And I have on many occasions called on Telstra to expedite the rollout of base stations to areas of high bushfire risk. The people of Dareal deserve that base station as soon as possible. I was up there just last week, opening the new Dareal men's shed. And again, I was able to update the community and advise the community that Telstra have put an application into NBN Co to co-locate the base station on the NBN tower just outside Dareal. But I say to Telstra, we need a move on. We need to make sure that those base stations go into the areas of high bushfire risk, and across the Corangamite electorate there are many areas, of course, that are very exposed to bushfire risk, and we all know about the terrible Christmas Day bushfire in Wye River and Separation Creek last year. So, Mr Deputy Speaker, we as a government are incredibly proud of our achievements. We are incredibly proud that we are listening to the people of regional Australia. In the first round, we funded 499 black spots, and now, of course, with the third round being announced, we have committed $220 million. We have seen a hopeless, pathetic commitment to this issue from those opposite, and we are very proud as a government to be standing up for regional Australia on this critical issue. Thank you.